What's up, world? Lee here with sticks, strings, and other things, my teeny tiny itty bitty little corner of the internet where I come to you every 2 weeks, every fortnight, to chit chat with you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands on to. Now, I didn't come to you regularly in December because I was doing flossy vloggy holla vloggymas, and then didn't have the time to do regular. But I'm back for regular again, so you'll be seeing me every fortnight again. Are you excited? I think you should be excited. If you are new here and you like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button wherever it may be. I don't remember which side. And if you are returning, thank you so much for spending some time with me yet again in this new year of 2023. I hope I continue to keep you entertained. Now, it's going to be a little chaotic today, and I apologize in advance for that, because there's a lot of chaos going on right now. Let me just say that. Sorry for the bump. I had to pick up my tea. Oh, did you see the mug? Did you see this mug? Did you see this mug of awesome? This was a gift from my sister. Yeah, that would be scary, Sampler. Just saying. I got the best sister. I'm just saying. In here is just some Earl Grey tea, which when we get to life stuff, there will be some funny stories about tea. Well, not funny, but funny. Yeah. Anyway, today is January 10. This will be going up on January 11, and this is episode 52. I've had a handful of new subscribers, so thank you for checking me out. I appreciate it. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. What have I been doing? I've been doing a lot, and so I pulled out what I can remember. It's been a month, people. It's been a month. So I have some whips over here. They're kind of all over the place. So I will show them as I can find them. I have my Modern Folk Embroidery Reaching Skyward whip. I do not have very much on it yet, but I did try and get... Need to put something behind you. We'll do this. We'll do this. That'll work. I did try to get both of my colors in. So I have this dark and then this light, which is a gray. I'm not going to be keeping up on this one monthly. There's no way. It's like 4,000 stitches a month, he said. Now, Jacob, I love you, but I'm not going to be keeping up. But I have already sat down with the charts and decided what parts are going to be chart A and what parts are going to be chart B and what parts I'm going to try and mash together to make both chart A and B, because I wanted to take it even farther. Can't just have it easy. No, of course not. I needed to do a little bit of both in a couple of the sections, because I want the girl, but I want the trees in that one little section. If you've seen the pattern, you know what I'm talking about. There's a section where you can either have a girl with some dog cats, and there's a guy with trees. I want the girl, but with the trees. We'll see if it fits. I haven't looked that far ahead to see if I can mash them together. I will figure out a way. I will, I promise. What else? What else are we starting? Ah, yes. A new work sock, because, you know, work, and I needed a new project. Not that I've had a lot of time to knit at work because it's been busy. I have a pair of socks, because those are nice and easy. I'm still working on the cuff. This is a 64 stitch sock, just my regular thing that I am doing. It's a 2x2 rib, nice and basic, using the Knit Spin Farms Targhee fingering weight, which is 90% Targhee, 10% nylon, in their Chocolate Day colorway. And I love it. And these are on... Ooh. What size needle is this? It is a US 1, a 2.25 needle. Fixed circular. In my Hohi Locatelli bag, which is delightful. And then living in here, which is kind of a big bag for the project. But when I pull the project out, you will understand. Sorry about the light. The sun's out. I know. The sun's out in Washington State in January. I know. I know. It's throwing things off. Anyway, you will see why I have the pair of socks I have in here. This is the Luminary socks by Handmade Designs? No. Pooh. I'll put it here. I don't remember. When you have so many bags that you can match perfectly your yarn to your bag. Or you have so much yarn you can match your yarn to your bag. I'm not sure which one I have. I have more yarn than bags, but anyway. This is my Farmer's Daughter's Fibers yarn in the colorway Chicory. Chicory? Yes, Chicory. This is the January Sock Squad yarn for, well, obviously this month. And I am doing the Luminary socks, like I said, and I'm blanking on the name. And it does not want to focus. Focus on the yarn. Anyway, there's a fun detail here, and it doesn't want to focus on it. Gorgeous yarn. I love the Sock Squad yarns. So I'm using the mini that came with it. This gorgeous yarn in the perfect bag. Again, that is a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. And I absolutely love the Sock Squad yarns, which is why I signed up for Sock Squad again. So I am getting 2 monthly yarn subscriptions for 1 skein. And that is Sock Squad from Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, and it is the Targhee, what was Little Known Holidays and is now Science and something. It's the self-striping Targhee weight from Knit Spin Farm. Which means I need to get at least 1 pair of socks done a month, which is a goal of mine. I've done it before. I can do it again. All right, what else am I working on? Oh, in my knitting, I have, it's big, it's biggin'. This is my Cozy Comfort Throw that I've been working on out of one of my Advents that I opened in December. Look at that! Oh, that red is really bright though. It kind of sticks out, but I don't care. I'm going to keep it in anyway. This is the last mini. I know, it's the last mini. And then I am going to do an I-cord around the whole thing. And then it will be done. And it's glorious and squishy and huge, but not too huge. And I'm in love with it. It's perfect. I'm doing these on a US size 8, which is a 5 millimeter on my Hiya Sharps. It's a good one. I mean, look at all those colors. This is marled, held together with an undyed skein. And I'm just loving it. I'm just absolutely loving it. And that is mainly the things that I've been working on that are whips. I do have a handful of finishes. I know, and I think I forgot one of them. I did. So I will have to pause to go get it. But I do have a handful of finishes, and I'm feeling very happy about it. First, we're going to start with my Advent socks. I had 2 Advent 24 striped skein socks. I'm only going to do 1 next year. I did 2 this year. This one was the Cozy Knitter. And I finished them in time for Christmas Day. So I have both those socks, 24 stripes, plus a little, I think. I don't recall. No, I think these ones were exactly 24 stripes. Love it. And then the Woolens and Nosh, which is, this is the one that I'm going to do next year, and only this sock. So I have, again, a nice rib, a glorious, glorious sock, shadow wrap heel. Both of these were done pretty much exactly the same way, only using different yarns. And these striped slightly different, so I have a bit more striping. This is where it restarts. So I have 3 extra stripes. And these are glorious and gorgeous, and I was in love with these socks. So yeah, I think I will be doing Woolens and Nosh socks next year. But not 2 pairs of socks, it was a little too much. So I finished that. What else did she finish? Well, I'm quite proud of myself for this one. Is that not the Modern Folk Embroidery Mystery Knit Along from last year? Why, yes it is. Is that the 2022 Mystery Knit Along? Yes. Is it completed? Yes. Yes it is. I'm feeling quite chuffed. So I'm going to do a slower scroll so you can see the whole thing. Ta-da! Oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I love this so much. I have this on a 40 count Tan Temptations by Sassy's Fabbies, which I don't think is any longer in business. And I used 1 strand over 2, and I used Almond M&M's Raven silk in her Raven colorway, and I loved this piece. I'm happy it's done, but I really loved it. It was so pretty. I also finished my Quaker Study by Carriage House Sampling. That is done in a couple of Vicky Clayton silks. I do not have the names. I lost those long ago. We'll do that. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I so like it. And you want to know something else about this? Finishing this meant I got a blackout on my Whipco board. Yes, I did. I got a blackout on my Whipco board. Ta-da! Ah, you gotta love it. Or, well, you don't have to, but I do. I was very happy. It had been started years and years and years and years and years ago, long before I took that pause in my stitching. And when I came back to my stitching, I've been pulling out some of my long hibernating whips. And I'm finishing a couple of them, which feels so good. All right. I think I have forgotten everything else. So, I'm going to take this moment to pause to get my other finishes. Two more cross-stitch finishes, people. For a total of 4. I know it's been a month, but let me bask in my own glory for a moment, please. All right. I will be right back. Oh, such good tea. All right. I'm back. Woo, yay. All right. So, I finished Isabella's Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh, so nice. I wish the light were better. I bought this as a kit from Evertote. It used a one-of-a-kind blue. It's a little darker than the one they normally were kitting this one with. And it used 3 colors of Leo and Roxy Flosco. I know one was Antique Wedding Dress. I don't remember what the pink was called. And then Fallow Red, I do believe. Anyhow, it's absolutely gorgeous. I stitched this up for my in-laws. It is an anniversary for them this year. And I thought I would get this stitched up for them. Now all I have to do is frame it. I'm going to try and frame it myself. But, oh, it's so pretty. Here, I'm going to get a nice big, there we go, nice big look. Hopefully it's in shot. Really liked it. I'm not a pink person, but somehow all that pink didn't bother me. Who knows? So there was that finish. And then, so back in December, I think it was December, there was the Jingle Ball. And I went to the Jingle Ball, and the Jingle Ball was fun. Much joy was had. much interest was shared, and a group of us all kind of got together to start a project. It was going to be a New Year's start, but I was impatient and couldn't wait, so I started it on my birthday. 'Cause that's what I do. And so this was my birthday start. And I finished it. Yes, Maker and Mender by Brenda Gervais. Isn't that gloriously pretty? I think I have the whole thing in there. Yeah, I do. Oh, so pretty. This one, I swear, it just stitched itself. It really did. And yes, there is some... there are stitches right there. In real life, you can see them just fine. Right here, it's kind of a little hard. Huh, interesting. I used the Vicki Clayton's silk conversion, and I put this on Seraphim Fabrics Dusty or Dirty Road. It's Dusty Road, Dirty Road, one of those. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, that really, really pale green is not showing up on the camera, but you can totally see it in person. So that pale green is here, and here, and here. It's showing up there okay, but not everywhere else. Let me pull it forward. Ugh, anyway. Love it. Loved it. So pretty. Practically stitched itself, like I said, and it was beautiful. And it's been fun to watch a lot of other people starting it, and I am excitedly cheering them all along. I did kind of cover most of my new starts as well, because I had a lot of new starts. I put those in my whips, so I didn't actually separate out my new starts, because all of my whips are more or less new starts. But that's fine. Lots of finishes, lots of new things. I have plans for the new year. It's going to be fantabulous, I'll tell you. So let's get on to those plans, because I've shown you everything. Sort of. Mostly shown you everything. I have plans. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My plans for this month when it comes to knitting are to finish that blanket. That's first on my list, is to finish that blanket. And I will have an entire Advent project finished, which, oh, glory. Glory, glory, glory. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new knitting project. And let me show you I only have one of the colors right now. Oh, you're not gonna, maybe if I put it in the sunlight. Ooh, there we go. That's closer. It's either way too dark or way too light. There's this color. I've already forgotten the name. I'm gonna have to grab that in just a second. This is Farmer's Daughter's Fibers Recollect in I forget which colorway. And I am going to be doing Andrea Mowry's Big Cozy Cardi. And let me show you something, which I will explain. Here's my gauge swatch. Now, I work at a yarn store. If someone brought me this gauge swatch, I would go, all right, I can try and give you some information on that swatch, but it's not going to be very accurate because it is not big enough. And it would be much better if you knit a much larger gauge swatch to get accurate information for the product that you want and for the project that you are making. It's hard to do on such a tiny little thing. I need like a 5-inch at least, but 5-inch square. Just give me a 5-inch by 5-inch square. And then we can talk about gauge. And wash and block it, wash and block it. This is washed. Yes, I washed it on the needle. Now, this is definitely a case of do as I say, not as I do, because this is my gauge swatch. And this is the swatch that I am using to choose what size needle I am using for the Big Cozy Cardi. Now, in my defense, I have knit many Andrea Mowry patterns. So I already kind of know how her gauge and my gauge align. This. There's caveat 1. Caveat 2, I'm lazy. Caveat 3, I know that this is an oversized cardigan. I am already knitting it in an oversized way. The problem that I've seen most people having is that they are getting a larger gauge and having to, no, a smaller gauge and are having to, what have I been seeing? I honestly don't remember if I was seeing that people were having a smaller gauge and therefore having to needle up, or if it was a larger gauge and having to needle down. Either way, when I was contemplating this, I went, fine, it'll be great, it'll be great. And I stuck with Called for Needles for my swatch. And I wish, the yarn is dark, I wish I could show the texture pattern that is on this swatch, because it's really cool. And I love both sides of it. The side that we are using, you can't see because it's dark. It's really hard to see, ooh, but it's gorgeous. But the reverse side, she actually uses this pattern in one of her sweaters, the Gib sweater, which is in my wish list. Not my wish, but it's in, I own the pattern, I just haven't ever made it. So now that I've seen this pattern, and it's actually going to be the pattern of one of her, it's already the pattern of one of her sweaters, that sweater is now higher up on my wish list of things to make. But we're starting with this one. And my really bad gauge swatch. Do as I say, not as I do. All right? And if this comes back to bite me in the butt later, you all can comment and go, you know better. And I'll be like, I do. You're right. I didn't do a real gauge swatch. Because this isn't. This is not. It is almost wide enough. Definitely not tall enough. Definitely not. Almost wide enough. It is 4.5 inches in width. So, yeah. Do I know better? Yes, I do. Am I going to fix it? No, I'm not. Am I going to regret that? Hopefully not. I have plenty of yarn, so I'm not worried about running out of yarn. And if it's a little more oversized, that's okay. If it's a little bit undersized, that's okay. I'm knitting a large version of it. So I don't think it's going to matter. As I said, if that comes back to bite me later, please, everyone, comment below and just be like, yeah, you told us to point and laugh at you because you know better. And this is us pointing and laughing. We'll see, we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to pause for just half a second so I can show you the other yarn that goes with that. It is living in this, ooh, Grandma B. Wilden bag. And excuse all the crinkles because I didn't take it out of, the crinkle bag that it was shipped in. So, this is the main yarn. And yeah, that color is not gonna show up. It's called York. And it is a glorious dark tealy blue. And yeah, I cannot get, it is a dark color, but yeah, it's just showing black on here as far as I can tell. And then the color for this cardigan is done in Odang. It is Farmer Daughters Fibers Surrey blend. And I am also doing it in York. So this is that color done on their Surrey base. You can see how it's, that actually with this yarn helps that yarn show up. How nice. It's gorgeous. It's glorious. This is going to be the collar. It's this nice big collar on this. And it is so scrumptious. The Recollect is 100% Montana and Wyoming Rambouillet. So, wonderful squish. And like I said, Surrey and silk. Silk and Surrey. Alpaca. And it's going to be glorious. And as soon as I finish my blanket, I'm going to finish my sock. And then I'm going to get on to said project. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. Plans for cross stitch are, I'm going to be working on my Ocean Harvest Busilla project that I am stitching up for a front. I'm going to try and get a big chunk done on that. And when I'm not working on that, I'm going to try and work on my Supernatural stitch along that I got so far behind on. Yep. I have my planner. My sister got me the weekly and monthly diary 2023. It is a tutor planner. So it has all sorts of tutor stuff. Like, hey, December 4th, 1542, James V dies at the Battle of Solway Moss, leaving his daughter Mary, queen, at 6 days old. Anyway, this is my planner for the year. For my stitching. It's going to be delightful. Just so you know, on the 8th, the Imperial Ambassador wrote of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn wearing yellow to celebrate the death of Catherine of Aragon. Anyway, I'm looking forward to using this. But also, residing in this glorious planner is my whip go. Now I'm doing my whip go a little bit differently this year. I don't want to have to deal with only working on a project on a certain time frame. I noticed when I did mine last year that I would just pull projects when I wanted to, and so I would mark them off well before they were called or after they were called. And so that didn't work, but I liked having a goal for each project that I pulled out. So that's what I did. I don't know how well you're going to see it. It really doesn't want to focus today. Don't know why, but it's not focusing. Anyway, if you look at my whip go, it has in this slot D10, this slot D8, D6, D4, D8. So what I did is I randomized dice. I randomized a die, put that die number, the die I will be rolling for the month, for the call, in the slot. And then when the numbers get called, I roll the die. Like this slot, it was a D20. And I rolled a 12. So I had to do 1,200 stitches on a project. And here, it was a D12, and I rolled a 4. So I had to do 400 stitches on a project. And so when I'm done, I highlight it out in red. So that is how I'm doing my whip go this year. I grab a project and go, all right, this is my project for this die, essentially. And that is how I'm doing whip go. I think it'll work for me. And I didn't... Very rude, it stopped recording. It does that sometimes. I did not give myself a free space, so there will be 1 month where I have 3 goals. I can double up on a project. I can decide that the 2 calls, whatever number of stitches that will be on one project. I can choose that as well. Or 3 on 1 month. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I think this will help because then I don't have to worry about what project I'm working on, because I joined Whip Warriors this year and I'm focusing on my whips my cross stitch whips a slightly different way this year. And this will still let me play whip go with that and not feel like I'm trying to do too many whips in a month. I don't like switching whips a ton. I've realized that. I'm not monogamous. Ooh, apologies. I'm not monogamous, but nor am I able to, 1 second, I need to see if somebody said something to me. Am I special? Spam! Ah, how fantastic. I got a spam. Well, let's just block that number. I do not have an appointment in 15 minutes with Xfinity. Anyhow, nor is my name Valerie. Right. Whether I keep that in or not, who knows. Let's get back to it. Told you, a little scattered today, a little scattered. I don't even remember where I was. Right, I'm not monogamous, but nor am I someone who wants to change projects every day. I sometimes don't even want to change projects every week. So I needed to figure out how to put how I like to stitch with the games that I'm playing, because I also like the games because they give me goals. And it's not just finish the project, because some of my projects are really, really big. I put them all on a spreadsheet, and I have a lot of BAPs. A lot of BAPs. Very few smalls. I start a small, I tend to finish it. So I don't have a lot just sitting there waiting in some stage of whipdom. Anyhow, between this and Whip Warriors, I'm hoping to have a good and successful cross-stitch year. Oh yeah, I am. And I'm excited, and that's just living in here. Last year I had it all fancy on a spreadsheet, but this time it's just easier to put it in here. So those are my plans for stitching. So I've finished Maker and Mender. I've finished Isabella's Heart. That was both this month. Delightful. That was my two filled in whip goes, was working on both of those projects. And then now I'm going to move on to Ocean Harvest, because I really do want to get that project back to my friend, because I've had it now for like 2 years. I'm starting to feel guilty that I still have it. So that's going to be my next push. I probably will not get it finished this month, but I want to get it much, 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 much closer. And then I will work on my very sadly neglected Supernatural. So those should be the two projects you see next time I film. Maybe. Who knows? I may change my mind. It's my crafting. I get to choose. Now, when it comes to knitting, I already told you what I'm doing there. I told you what I'm doing with cross stitch. I'm going to show some haul. I have stash acquisitions. I have some stash. Some of it is stuff like I bought some threads to do this. These are Leo and Roxy threads. Seize the Day and Tarnished Silver or something like that. I don't remember. And they're far, far away from me right now, so I'm not going to grab them. You will see them at another date. I also have, oh, reach, a couple other things. Like, I know, me and everyone else on the planet. Yeah, Cedar River linen design. Cedar River? Yeah. Trixie Tricycle. Of course I had to buy some of the linen she dyed. I mean, she's a local. She lives just up the road. I don't honestly know exactly where she lives, but it is north of me. I'm from the Puget Sound. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. So she's a local. So Judy, Trixie Tricycle is the name of her YouTube channel. Anyway. So I bought this glorious piece of tephra. It's a 40 count. And it is glorious. It is so gorgeous. And I liked it so much, I bought a little bit more linen from her. That will come later. And I really wish I could show the color better. It's beautiful. And I've got some Fox and Rabbit white clay. So these are my two new linens. Oh, look at that. They're both so gorgeous. Like, if I only if I only stitched using these two fabrics for the rest of my life, I would probably be pretty darn, not just these two colors, but these two dyers. I'd probably be a very happy person. It'd be glorious and gorgeous and so nice. So nice. So I did that. And then, this goes into the knitting world here. Shibui is closing. It's a yarn producer, dye house, and design house. And they have gloriously gorgeous yarns of a high price. They are not cheap. They are not cheap. But they're closing. And it was a sudden thing. And people were like, what? What? It seemed to come out of the blue. And there is a project that I have wanted to make for easily 3 years. It's a beautiful, beautiful Roana. It's called the Durham. If I'm feeling spiffy. I might put a picture up, I might not, who knows. But it's beautiful. But the yarn is expensive. Very, very expensive. And so I just kept putting it off because, oh, I have enough. But this is a project I really want, and I've wanted for years. So when I heard that Shibui was closing, I looked at the guy and was like, can I buy a ton of yarn at a very high price, but it's on sale, and I'll never be able to get it again? And he went, explain. I explained. He said, yes. When it's a big project like this, at this price point, you ask. That's just polite. So, let me show you the two colors that would be held together to make this glorious thing. So I have Shibui Nest in their velvet and Shibui Silk Cloud, again, in their velvet. So these will be held together to create this object, and it's going to be gorgeous. I think this might be cast on after Big Cozy Cardi. As much as I want this project done, I want the product, I want this item. As much as I know I'm going to enjoy stitching with these yarns because they are luscious and glorious, the stitching and knitting, the knitting of this piece itself is going to be mind-numbingly boring. It is miles of stockinette. Miles of stockinette. And so I'm not looking forward to the creating, but I am looking forward to the having. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyhow, this is a huge project, very pricey, and I will start it soon. I got a couple books for Christmas, knitting books. So these are Finnish sweaters, and they are gloriously gorgeous. I can't pronounce Finnish. I can't. I don't know how. Sorry, didn't want to show off the chart there. But they are just beautiful, beautiful sweaters. And the back says, what does knitted folk poetry look like? How can a sweater be both a garment and a story? Knitted Kalevala include 18 knitted patterns inspired by Kalevala. Considered a national epic in Finland, Kalevala contains old poems full of Baltic Finnic mythology, ancient symbols, mythical creatures, and nature. So that's what this is, and it is glorious. And there's at least 6 sweaters in here that I want to create and have on my body. And considering there's 18 patterns, 6 is good. There's probably more than that, but I don't love every one of them, but it's a darn close thing. I want most of them. Yeah. Not that one, but yeah. They're so pretty, but yeah, they have names that I can't pronounce. I don't know Finnish. Let me show you one of the names that I'm like, I was going to take it down so that my aunt can teach me how to say the names, because I can't say that. It translates to, let the horse carry the heavy burdens. But I can't say that. It's Finnish. Apologies, that was a little louder than I expected. And then I have Viking knits. And this man makes some gorgeous sweaters, and they're built for men. It is hard sometimes to find a good sweater that is built for a man. So many sweaters are designed for women, and then men can adjust them through chest size and make them work. Sometimes their shoulders just get in the way. And so this lovely gentleman knits some great patterns. Glorious sweaters in here. And they're knit for the whole family. See, even kids. And they're beautiful, glorious, beautiful sweaters. And I want half of them as well. But yeah, just glorious. Glorious. Also, the photos in here are really pretty because the area is, I mean, would you not want to be in this area? I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So there's 18 men's sweater, 9 women's sweater, 6 children's sweater, and 10 cozy accessories. And that excited me because I liked a lot of them. So that was the last of my stash. I think there were 1 or 2 things that I got that I don't recall that I already have put away. Because, yeah, I think so. But it doesn't really matter. Anyhow, so I've discussed most everything now. So let's get on to life. Christmas was enjoyable. My sister came up to visit. It's always a delight to have her here. And she left with some of my cross stitch. She was going through all my my drawer of shame. And I was like, if there's some in there that you want, just ask, and maybe you can take them, because they're just sitting in a drawer here. And so she took 3, and I'm happy because she'll actually do something with them, and then they'll be, you know, on a wall or something. And I was thinking that maybe I might film everything that isn't. Sorry, I'm pointing at it. My drawer of shame. My sister was pulling some out and going, "You need to frame this. You need to frame this. How do you not have this on your wall? Why don't you have this? So she's right, and I should do better. So I might go through that, and then you all can shame me for my drawer of shame. My shame drawer, you can shame me. It's beautiful. I'm not a product crafter. I mean, occasionally I am, like the Ruana that I want to make. But most of the time, it's the process. I just enjoy it. And so if it ends up in a drawer, okay. But I probably should do something with some of them. They're gorgeous, and I would probably like them on my walls. So I should do something about that. And so Christmas was good. Sorry, my arm hurts right now. I got my COVID and flu shot the other day. Yesterday. So I'm trying to get this filmed and edited and uploaded before the 24 hours after, where it's going to knock me on my butt, because that's always what has happened when I've had a COVID shot. And I'm already getting chills. So I'm already getting chills from it. So yeah, I need to get this done quicker. And so that might impact some of my crafting. I might be too ill to craft. We'll see. Who knows? Yeah, saw family. Didn't see some other family because of COVID exposures and things like that. Enjoying my job. My bosses gave me an amazing, not just me, everyone who works for them, they gave them all an amazing Christmas gift of a yarn club, and we're all gonna like knit a yarn club together, and we're gonna have like our own little knit night-ish thing going on, and it's gonna be fantabulous. Gauge Yarns is the yarn company that they got us yarn from, and it's going to be delightful. What else? Yeah, it's been a month. I did a lot. There's a lot more I want to do. And yeah, I don't know. I'm slowly getting better. Life is good. We're doing some soundproofing downstairs in the office to make it more soundproof or less echoey, so that the guy can work from home if he needs to, when he needs to, as he needs to, yes. Jobs, stuff, work from home, thing is a thing. I feel like I'm forgetting something, which is why I'm still sitting here. I don't know what, though. Right, I remember now. I have some knitting plans. I've made a Make 9 list. I've always failed at these, but I've made another Make 9, and I'm thinking I might film that later on this week to put up. It will be just about my knitting, though. So if you're a knitter, you can watch. If you're a cross-stitcher and you're interested in it, you don't have to. But if you're still interested, feel free to watch. I watch a lot of the cross-stitchers who also quilt. I watch all the quilting, too. I don't quilt. I've tried. It's not back there anymore. I had a quilt at one point that I was trying to work on, and then my machine died, and there it sits. Unfinished, half quilted. Anyway, I like watching people talk about crafts that they do that I don't do, because then I don't have to do them and I can enjoy them anyway. Vicariously through other people. That's how I travel most of the time too. Vicariously through other people. This is why I love the internet. It's vicarious existence through other people. And that means I don't have to leave my house. When? Right. I'm starting to babble now. My tea has gone cold because this mug is huge. If you guys, you should get this mug. It is glorious, and I'm in heaven. But I just got tea loose. Oh well. I'm going to let you all go. I will see you again in 2 weeks, and you can see if I have finished my blanket, if I have finished my socks, if I have finished Ocean Harvest or Ocean Bounty. Oh god, cross our fingers. Maybe I will. I'm not going to, but maybe I will. It's not going to happen, but I really want it to. That is true. And then I can mail it back to my friend and she can get it. That'd be great. Right. Until later, enjoy all, and I hope 2023 is calmer than 2022 was. Take care all. Bye-bye.